The Daily Scrum. So we said almost all the events in Scrum, especially the formal events, are meetings. But the continuing event is not a meeting. It's basically the expression or the medium by which all other meetings happen. And at the end of the last meeting that terminates the sprint ceases to exist. But we're here to talk about the Daily Scrum. The purpose of the Daily Scrum is to inspect progress toward the sprint goal and adapt the sprint backlog as necessary, adjusting the upcoming planned work. So, what we are doing in the Daily Scrum is to meet every day for about 15 minutes to discuss, hey, champ, what did you do yesterday? And how did what you did conform to our sprint goal? We are ensuring that our backlog, which is a list of items that we intend to deliver at the end of a sprint, so that it will amount to what we call an increment, is being reduced daily. So that's why we are adapting the sprint backlog. The Daily Scrum is a 15-minute event for the developers of the Scrum team. To reduce complexity, it is held at the same time and place every working day of the sprint. We prefer co-location, that is in-person meetings at the same place, the same time, and at the same venue, so to speak. Why do we want these consistencies? To minimize complexity that might arise by being flexible or liberal with our meeting time. So if we have decided that through the life cycle of this sprint, we are going to be meeting every day by 10 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, we'll meet every day at the kitchen to discuss for 15 minutes what was the challenges of yesterday, what we did yesterday, how far we are from the goal, and how can we adapt what we are doing to situate it as it pertains to the sprint goal. If the product owner or scrum master are actively working on items in the sprint backlog, they participate as developers. Usually, the product owner or scrum master does not attend the Daily Scrum, but they will attend if they were editing something on the sprint backlog, or they were participating in adding value or actively working on adding value on the sprint backlog. So I would define developers as people other than those who are actively involved in doing all the work necessary to deliver the increment, but as people who are constantly working on the sprint backlog. The moment a product owner starts working consistently on the sprint backlog, or the scrum master is doing the same, that makes them developers. So in a scrum team, you can have scrum masters and product owner working as developers, as well as keeping their jobs as scrum masters and as developers. The developers can select whatever structure and technique they want, as long as their daily scrum focuses on progress towards the sprint goal and produces an actionable plan for the next day of work. This creates focus and improves self-management. What we are discussing here is that the developers have the wherewithal, the capacity, the competency to self-manage themselves, to decide what goes on and what doesn't go on, to decide who even works with them and who doesn't work with them. But we are talking about Daily Scrum. So Daily Scrum improves communication, identify impediments, promote quick decision making, and consequently eliminate the need for other meetings. So it is the Daily Scrum that will discuss the life wire progress of the entire Scrum team as it pertains to delivering value. Remember once again that the only attendees to this event and to this party is the developers. The only reason you will see the product owner and the scrum master attending the Daily Scrum is when they are attending as developers themselves, or they are actively involved in adding value or editing the sprint backlog.